How's it going, guys? It is the Investing Guy here, and today we're going to talk about a very tough topic, which is why has the VGX token dropped so much? So I did a lot of research in this video, so make sure that you watch the whole thing. I've also gone ahead and I've created timestamps down below for you guys. So if you guys want to skip to a certain area, feel free to skip to whatever area catches your attention. Also, don't forget to click that thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel where we talk about creating financial freedom through crypto and stocks. I also have referrals down below, so if you want to help out the channel, you can sign up to platforms such as crypto.com or Voyager and earn some nice rewards through them. All right, guys, let's stop wasting so much time. Let's get right into the video. All right, so let's go ahead and start looking here. Currently, we see that we're at $1.40, which is not the best price, right? And now if we zoom out and we're gonna go ahead and look at the year to date, as you guys can see here, VGX has fallen more than 50%. We see that in the beginning of the year, it was at around $3, and currently it is at $1.40. So that is more than a 50% drop. And if we compare that with certain competitors, let's go ahead and look at Chronos. Chronos was at 56 cents in the beginning of the year, and currently it is at 40 cents. So Chronos is holding a lot stronger. Now let's look at another competitor, such as Nexo. Nexo was at $2.40, and it is currently at $2.30. So again, Nexo is also holding a lot stronger than VGX. We also see that Bitcoin was at around the same time, was at around 46,000, and currently it is at around 39 or 40,000. So Bitcoin has not had, a 50% drop. So the crypto markets are holding strong. It just seems that VGX is one of the tokens that is not holding quite strong. I do remember that at that time, VGX was in the top 100, and currently it has fallen all the way down to number 146, which is quite a big drop, which again signifies to me that there is something completely wrong here. There's something that needs to be fixed. What if it was the whole interest thing that's going on with the government? The government not allowing Voyager to pay out interest and whatnot. And so then I said, well, similar story also happened with Celsius. So let's go ahead and look at Celsius. Now, if we look at Celsius here, we do see that Celsius is at $2.13. Not only that, but it holds a higher market cap than VGX. I want you to realize that there are more people on Voyager than there are on Celsius. So again, this was another big red flag for me, saying that, hey, there is something that needs to change about VGX. So the market cap here for Voyager is 390 million, while Celsius holds a market cap of $500 million. So as I have heard some people say, everything is down, that's why Voyager is down. I'm not buying that, and let's get right into the nitty-gritty of it. I want to take a deep dive into VGX because I care about VGX. I want to take a deep dive into VGX, and I want to see what is wrong, what is causing this, and what needs to change in order for this to, turn around. Because I deeply believe that VGX and Voyager can be something amazing. But again, I am not naive, and I do see that something is wrong with VGX compared to its competitors. So in this video, we're going to talk about everything that needs to happen, or what I believe needs to happen in order for VGX to have a nice turnaround. And so what I really want to look at is at the tokenomics of Voyager. So I went over here into the Etherscan, and I remembered that earlier in this year, I was looking at the total supply of Voyager, and it was a lot lower. Currently, it is at 287 million, and I remember earlier in the year, it was at 283 million. We all knew that this was going to happen. We all know that VGX is an inflationary token. This brings me to a whole other point where I want to get down and see just how inflationary VGX really is. I went ahead and I did a few calculations. So I went ahead and I took the 40 million for the marketing pool. Not only that, but we also need to remember that VGX is also inflationary through the 7% staking that it gains on there. Now, not 100% of the VGX supply is being staked, so it's only about 80%, which would then equal about 5.6 in terms of increase in the total supply of VGX. So if we add 14% from the marketing supply and 5.6%, we do end up with a massive 19.6% in terms of increase of VGX, which is a lot. It's almost 20%, which means that there's almost 20% more VGX out there than there was, about a year ago, which is quite a bit more. Okay, 20% is a lot more VGX out there. That means that our holding power that we have on VGX is being diluted quite a bit through the inflation that VGX has. So that's something that you really need to worry about, right? I think that it is something that we should worry about because this inflation is going to continue for a few more years. We see that next year, well, a few months from now, we are going to get 20 million more tokens added to the supply. And then every year after that, we will get 10 million more. So there's still a lot more VGX tokens to be added on here. Is it really that bad though? I don't think it's that bad. And I think that this first year was going to be the year where we saw the biggest effect. Seeing 40 million being added to the total supply is quite a bit. So I don't think the next years will see such a drastic price action through the market supply that's being added. Now this brings me to the last point. There are definitely things that need to change in the VLP 2.0. Here's some of the things that I think really need to change. This is one of the things that I've talked about way back when, and I'll actually go ahead and link up the video up here. None of those things that I've talked about have happened, but hopefully some of these things will happen because a survey was passed around. I didn't receive one, but a lot of people from the VGX community did receive one. And one of the things that I noticed on there that I really like, extra interest for staking. Now, it wasn't as much as I wanted. I think they mentioned about a 1% boost for a 12 months, which is not as much as I would like to see. Now, what I would like to see is, let's say they have an option, 1 month, 3 months, and maybe 6 months or 12 months, right? And so the 1 month is the one where you get a 1% extra boost. The 3 month, you can get a 2% extra boost. And then let's say the 1 year, you get a 3% extra boost. I think if they just go ahead and they implement a 1 year for 1% boost, I don't think many people are going to be incentivized to hold their VG or stake their VGX for just an extra 1% boost. Because remember, if you do stake, you can't trade. And so, for example, for me, if they told me, hey, would you lock up your VGX for 1% extra? I would say no. I would probably say no. I would lock up maybe my VLP, and then the rest I would keep it and just trade with it and make sure that I do some trades here and there with VGX and profit off of it that way. Now, if they told me, hey, would you lock up your whole VGX for all your VGX for a year for a 3% extra boost, then that's something where I really have to think about. I probably would. For a 3% extra boost, I probably would lock up the rest of my VGX and just not worry about it anymore. Whereas with a 1% boost, I would probably only lock up my tier and then take the rest and trade with it and see what I can do with those trades. Now, another thing that I do want to see is definitely more boosters. I think that only boosting Bitcoin, USDC, and Ethereum is not enough. I know that back then we had another coin which was on there, but if we look at the competitors such as Nexo and CRO, we see that their boost is on pretty much all the tokens. All the tokens get boosted when you are part of their loyalty program. So I want to see something more like that. Let's say that VGX does implement a few other coins like Luna, maybe Polkadot or whatnot, and they do offer a 0.5% boost on a few other tokens. I think that'll be huge for the VLP, but I do think that it needs to expand further than just USDC, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. All right, now this is one that I haven't talked about, and I think it would be awesome if they did something like this. Now, one of my favorite aspects of Nexo is that they do have this where each new coin that they offer, they do offer very nice APY. For the first few months. For example, right now I am holding Axie on there for about 36% APY. Now that's not gonna last forever. I understand that. That's just a special for the first few months. But this brought me to another whole point. What if Voyager, we all know that they have their coin of the month, but I mean, what is it other than giving it a few tweets here and there and whatnot? It's not such a big deal, but I think that the coin of the month can be such a nice aspect of the VLP. If you're part of the VLP, if you hold a certain token, let's say that Voyager decides to do coin of the month on, let's say, Phantom, okay? Well, if you're part of the VLP, if you're in a certain tier, you might get a 1% boost on that token. If you're in the second tier, you might get a 2% boost on that token. And then if you're on the third tier, you get a 3% boost. I think that's just an idea, and it's something that Voyager should maybe think about. I think just saying a few tweets here and there about a certain token is not enough, and it's really not an incentive for people to purchase the token. I know myself, I was expecting a little bit more from the coin of the month, and just receiving an email and a few tweets here and there it's really nothing to get excited about. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is the debit card. Though I understand that the debit card is going to be huge, and I am really excited for the debit card, especially paying, those certain bills and whatnot, maybe the mortgage or the car bills, whatever, through my debit card. That's going to be awesome, and I'm very excited for that. But I also want to see some sort of partnerships, such as kind of what CRO has. And now one of the things that I'm thinking about is cashback on gas, right? Because we all know that gas is so expensive. So I think this could be a huge thing. If Voyager went on and said, if you're in the first tier, you get 2% cash back on any gas that you buy. And maybe if you're in the second tier, you get 4%. And then if you're in the third tier, you get 6%. That's just an idea, but imagine how huge that would be. If people knew that they could use this card and get so much off of their gas, I think that would be an instant attraction, and so many people would be rushing to try and grab this debit card. Just an idea, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say. All right, now it's not all negative with Voyager. I do understand that the best is yet to come. And so myself, does that mean I'm out of VGX? No. If I were to look at the tokenomics of VGX just by itself, I think I would probably stay away from a certain token like this. But I do realize that VGX comes with a lot of perks. And so for my certain situation that I hold quite a bit of USDC, and I hold some Ethereum and Bitcoin on the platform, I think it's beneficial for myself to hold my tier on VGX. And so I'm not telling anyone go buy VGX or whatnot, but I think you should really do the calculations. If you hold a certain amount of USDC or Bitcoin or Ethereum, it might be beneficial for you to do some calculations to see how much you would get from those boosters. Or if you plan on using your debit card to pay your home mortgage or whatever, I think, again, do the calculations and see if it is beneficial for yourself. Now, with that being said, I do think that the best is yet to come. Once we see Europe expansion, I think that's going to be quite a nice addition, and a lot more members will join the platform, and VGX should see a positive price action from that. This was the year where we got the most dilution for our VGX. This is probably not going to happen again, and from the years moving forward, we'll get less and less dilution, and hopefully if there's some sort of burn, that will also go into effect, and we'll hopefully see more positive price action for our VGX. And so with that being said, guys, that's the end of this video. I know that it was a hard topic to talk about because for myself, I am a true believer of VGX, and I really want VGX to perform well. But I do understand, just by looking at the price action and by looking at certain things, looking what competitors have to offer, I do understand that Voyager is falling behind, at least with its VLP. And VGX is the one that suffers from that. And so for myself, being a true believer in VGX, it could be quite frustrating, but I do think that better times are yet to come, especially, like I said, with Europe and other things that are coming to the platform. All right, guys, I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say, so make sure that you comment down below. And like I like to say, let's go to the moon together, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter at YTTheInvestor.